Alright, we're just gonna jump right into this battle. Opponent's team is gonna Thunderous, Gyarados, Gothitelle, Tentacruel, Ferrothorn, and Gliscor. I think he may want to lead out with the Ferrothorn. I don't think Talonflame is really badly for anything. The two things that can possibly, three things. The only thing that's kind of bad here is if he leads off with Gliscor, I have to SD right away. He's got nothing for SD Talonflame, to be honest. Gyarados probably has Intimidate, but I'm not worried too much, as that is likely his Mega Evolution, which means he's not carrying Bounce for my Breloom. Could be carrying Ice Fang, but I think at +0 for the 2 with KO, he has to Mega Evolve. You're gonna see what Breloom said this is in a moment here. That's what the team was built around. So I'm gonna lead off with Talonflame. He's gonna lead off with Gliscor. I'm just gonna Swords Dance right away here, as he's gonna go for Protect. He may want to go into Gyarados to sponge the Brave Bird. I don't think he's gonna risk going into Ferrothorn here. I'm just gonna go for clean Brave Bird. I need damage on this thing anyway. And the more common sets on the upper ladder are especially defensive Gliscor, so I really lose nothing by just going for Brave Bird. Doesn't actually kill, but I'm not sure what he has to actually touch me with. He does have a... I'm gonna go for Roost here. I don't lose much by it. First of all, he's shown Toxic, so he probably doesn't have Knockoff along with that. He's shown Protect and Toxic. I don't think he's... And I'm also thinking, I was thinking he would Protect again and then go into his Gyarados. Now would be the time to do so. He could also go into Ferrothorn. I'm gonna go for a Flare Blitz. It's a pretty safe option. What I'm thinking is he's trying to wear me down because he doesn't have a check for this. So I'm gonna, if he switches in Ferrothorn, Gothitelle works too. Yeah, Gothitelle wasn't really gonna be useful against my team really. It could have helped actually. And now he's gonna switch in the Gyarados. Is my if he goes into Ferrothorn, I might actually just go for another Roost. Seeing as though he could have Protect on that either to be trying to Toxic Stall me. That would be a pretty poor play on his part though. Another option is to go to Thunderous. I am adamant Talonflame. You're gonna see there's another explanation for that in a minute here. He's just taking his time. And as I predicted, he does go into Gyarados. I'm just gonna make the safe switch into... well, no. He doesn't lose much by just Mega Evolving right off the bat. And I don't think I want to conserve this really. Is this gonna... I guess I just don't want him Dragon Dancing in my face for free. But he's most likely just gonna go for the Waterfall. And yeah, it's Mega, so it's gonna have the Mold Breaker Earthquake. I need Latios. I need Latios. I'm just gonna go into Scizor. Overall, Scizor just doesn't do a lot to his team as he double switches into Ferrothorn. This is great for me because I actually am the Swords Dance 3 attack set, so I don't actually have to risk going back into Talonflame. He's likely just going to set up rocks on me, which is fine. I have Latios. It's pretty healthy. It can take on pretty much anything on his team. So I'm just going to Mega Evolve and go for SD. I do have Superpower. I don't know if +2 kills necessarily, but we're about to find out. Oh wait, I don't have a nature on this thing. Oh my god. That does a decent amount. And he's definitely not going to Mega Evolve here. He could Dragon Dance, predicting the switch. I need the Scizor alive, so I'm just gonna pull the switch into my Breloom, as this is the Toxic Orb Breloom. But now he's a +1. I think he can kill me, to be honest. But I'm just gonna go for the Spore, hoping he doesn't have the Ice Fang. Lately, like Earthquake Taunt, Earthquake Stone Edge variants have been more common, as he doesn't have it. Just fine. Yeah, it's gotta have either Taunt or Substitute. I don't want to risk him subbing up on me, but at the same time, what can he really do to me? And I can easily just switch in Landorus T, break the sub and go for my rocks, or I could switch in Latios. What we're gonna see here, I'm gonna go for Leech Seed. He more than likely is just going to substitute. So I kind of wasted a turn there. but at the same time, he can't really do much to me back. Yeah, the Earthquake is pitiful damage. I at least want to force him to... I don't care that he's recovering HP. I just want to get him to the point where... that's where we're going to take several Drain Punches before I break his sub. And also just waste some power points. Yeah, Drain Punch literally does nothing to his team. I guess it can take on Ferrothorn. And yeah, see, that's what I was thinking. He's going to just go for Toxics until I can break his substitute. Good thing here is that Drain Punch is probably doing so... Okay, yeah, so now I break his sub. And I can just go into my... Just go to my Landorus. Do I want to go for Stealth Rock? Yeah, I do want to kind of pressure the Thunderous. That was a dump. I should have gone into Latios, now that I think about it, because if this thing is in fact especially defensive, then I can probably break his sub with just a Psyshock. That was a stupid play on my part. I guess I committed there, so I guess I'll just have to set up my own. Yeah, I'll have to just set up my Stealth Rock. Break the substitute as he just goes for Protect. That's okay. Hopefully I hit this. This goes pretty annoying. Yeah, Earthquake does nothing. I'm probably gonna miss this. I do not. But it's not enough to break the sub. But that's actually a good thing in a way, because now I can ensure that I don't care if he protects here. Now U-turn will probably break the sub. So at least we confirm that this was in fact, and he's faster than me, so he can't just set up another sub. So that's actually pretty fantastic. Yep, there it is. And now something dies. Or he's forced to switch in Ferrothorn, and you can just go back into Scizor. Actually, I'm just going to defog, predicting him to switch out into his Ferrothorn. As, yeah, there it is. Could just set up rocks again. Gives me the free switch back into my Talonflame. As he actually makes a weird play here, going back to Gliscor. Yeah, I don't know, I can honestly just... I'm gonna Roost up. I don't care if he goes for Substitute, yeah. I don't really care. I'm just gonna go for Protect here. I'm just gonna go into my Rotom. It's one of those times where I really wish I was Chesto Resto with Rotom. Just gonna go for Hydro Pump. Go back to my Latios. Hopefully he misplays and goes for the Protect here. As no, he's a smart player. Just goes for. I didn't think Gliscor would be such a problem. I'm just gonna throw out a Draco Meteor here. I don't care if the Ferrothorn switches in. I do have Recover on this Latios, so I'll be able to heal off any potential damage. My Talonflame is pretty healthy at this point. I can just switch it in at 0 cost. If anything, it'll keep him from just going immediately for rocks. It'll be good if I can actually just catch him with Leech Seed. If he decides to Leech Seed the switch here, I can just switch out Talonflame and I can come back in later without fear of rocks. Yeah, see, there it is. I guess at this point, it'd be good to test if he's indeed, he might try to set up rocks now. I'm just gonna go for Flare Blitz, expecting the Gyarados to come in. Oh, but he actually, how much is that? Yeah, that definitely is defensive. Let's go, god damn, that does so little. That was a pittance, actually, but this Talonflame is still my win condition. Oh, wow, okay, he predicted that very nicely there. Now he's got nothing for, he gives my Scizor a free switch in. Not a lot in this team really does much to it. He could Earthquake me to death. But that would take a while considering my Scizor is pretty bulky. I'm gonna go for Swords Dance again. I want him to Mega Evolve because then I can hit him with a Bug Bite. As unfortunately he does not do that. What is he gonna do? You know, he just Waterfalls. But interestingly enough, I am faster. If I SD again, I'm actually faster than him. So this is some kind of bulky Gyarados. But if I'm in a tough position because if I let him use Waterfall on me again, I just die to Iron Barbs and I won't be able to. But at the same time, with the Gyarados and the I don't care. I'm gonna SD again. Okay, he's pretty adamant on that. A good move here would be going into Ferrothorn now. And that actually doesn't put me down. I guess that was a min-max, kind of. I might have just won here if I can. Also depends if I can one-shot this Ferrothorn with the. He's at 91%. That's a +5, +5 bug bite. And pretty much everything's gonna be taking a chunk. Glister will die to Bullet Punch. Tentacruel will probably just die to anything. It's not that bulky. Thunderous dies. Again, not the bulkiest thing. And I am at. Yeah, that's the kicker. I'm actually not max attack. I don't think this thing has a nature. As he probably pulls the switch into Tentacruel. That's. Oh wow, that just dies. Now he goes back into Gyarados. Fine by me. I'm just gonna go for another Bug Bite. I lose nothing by it, as he still dies. That was a bad play by him. He should have just stalled out my. I think that's a good game actually. I don't even think this thing kills me with one Earthquake at this point. Just gonna go for Bullet Punch. Unfortunately, get a crit. I don't know if that mattered. I am a plus like 4 Scizor, and I think it's a good game. I think even Bug Bite kills Ferrothorn at this point, but I don't really want to risk it, considering at this point Breloom wins the game too. Yeah, it's actually a Poison Heal Breloom. I think it's pretty decent in the meta right now compared to Tekloom, just because the game is infested with water and ground types nowadays, and electric types too. See a lot of those like Thundurus, Manectric, Raikou, all of that. So Spadef, Poison Heal Breloom. And it can still kind of pull its weight against offense with Drain Punch, and also Spore. Because even uninvested, it's got a pretty high attack stat, and even stuff like Thundurus will resist it. You know, its defenses are paper, so I don't know this guy. He's probably just gonna timer stall me because he knows he lost. It's pretty amazing, just Mega Scizzor's raw power, considering this thing doesn't even. Yeah, I'm pretty sure its attack should be higher than 399. It's 150. It's base 150. Just the other match, about an hour ago, I forgot Gale Wings on Talonflame, so that was even worse. So I'm just gonna pause until he oh yeah, he damaged. Okay, so the crit did matter against his Gliscor, but at the same time, his yeah, he got the calc in the chat right now, but at the same time, I don't think his Earthquake would have been strong enough to kill me. Gliscor is really bulky. It's got a greater natural bulk than a Skarmory, and Gliscor is not the strongest Pokemon. Like if it was Landorus T or something, then it definitely would have killed. And even if he had managed to kill me, at that point it was just me getting a kill with Latios, or just forcing the Ferrothorn in, so I could put my. Actually, that would have put me in a much tougher spot. I would have had to make a lot of double switches into my into Latios, and yeah, he's just timer stalling me like a faggot. What I would have had to do probably is double switch into Breloom onto the I could have also just leech seeded on the switch, negating his negating his Poison Heal recovery, since at that point, if I hadn't crit him, he would have been at the point to where he couldn't have set up a substitute. So at that point, I set up the Leech Seed. What's my Landorus at? I don't remember what my Landorus was at, but I'm pretty sure I could have taken a. Well, if it was Life Orb, I don't think I could have. But at that point, I just go into Rotom Wash and Volt Switch on the incoming, probably the incoming Thundurus. There was still a way I could have won. He was still in a really bad spot, even if I hadn't crit him with the Bullet Punch. And he actually calced Adamant, which I'm not, so it makes it kind of even worse. So I crit and I got a high roll. But it was still pretty much over. I don't know why he let me set up so many SDs. He lost Tentacruel, that could have been helpful. I guess not really. But like he lost his Gothitelle. He let his. The major thing here was that he let me set up and get his Gliscor weakened, or in this case, because I crit him, KO'd. But even like weakening it that much, like what is this calc? It's 69 to 81. That would have been more than enough for me to put me in a situation where I was guaranteed the win. So before I end this video, I'm gonna go ahead and explain the team. It's kind of a bulky Volturn core. You know, none of that Choice Scarf nonsense. I think yeah, Landorus T is the most used Pokemon in OU right now. It's for pretty good reason. Most people use it as, like, I see Choice Scarf all the time, but I think it's bulky pivot set is kind of underestimated for balanced teams like mine. You know, balance is not the best thing right now in the meta with all the stall and hyper offense going around, but I think I have the adequate tools to overcome that. For one thing, I have double SD to kind of pressure stall, and also have Breloom. Breloom can't be status because it has Poison Heal. It has some decent matchups against stall, particularly stuff like, you know, Quagsire, Chansey. It's faster than Clefable, so I can just put it to sleep before it does anything. But then there's stuff like Skarmory. Well, Skarmory, more and more Skarmory are starting to run like movesets without Brave Bird. I like Counter a lot. I don't like the ones that just don't have any attacks. Like it'll be like Taunt, Defog, Stealth Rock, Roost. I've seen Skarmories like that. If the Skarmory doesn't carry Brave Bird, this Breloom actually beats that too. So the matchup with Stall is not completely horrible. And then of course I have Talonflame with Swords Dance. Forces a lot of switches against offense, especially where I can just SD and get sweep. Although typically I tend to play with it a little bit more conservatively a lot of the time, especially against more hyper offensive teams. I don't even have to set up, which is why I'm running Adamant with Sharp Beak just to get enough, just get the adequate revenge killing power, just kind of 2 rolls in one. And then Scizor is typically the late game or mid game also, depending how much Talonflame managed to weaken the opposing team. The opposing team they complement each other really well, break down physical walls for each other. Talonflame being immune to burn and all. The one thing they both really struggle against, so does Landorus T, is like bulky water types, which is why Toxicor Breloom is so good for this team. It's the ultimate bulky water counter, with Breloom being the possible exception. And Azumarill can't really do much to Mega Scizor because its defense is just so high, it's not really weak to any of its moves. Rotom is also a pretty good switch-in to it, despite mine being specially defensive. For stuff like, particularly Greninja, I needed kind of a glue Pokemon that could help me out against that, because even Breloom has a pretty decent chance of getting O-Code by Greninja Life Orb Ice Beam, despite how especially bulky I made it. Yeah, I just needed something, especially, and then also for stuff like Landorus I, I didn't feel I could be, since there's so much pressure on Latios to defog for the late game sweeper, the Talonflame, I wanted an additional check to it. And also Rotom Wash isn't threatened really by, it's not really threatened by knockoff as much, especially because I have paint split on this one. But yeah, the team is designed around letting Breloom shine as a supporting member, something that can take on, that can reliably just take on and completely annoy the crap out of Pokemon that tend to stop Talonflame and Scizor from sweeping. Also, like I said before, electric types like Thundurus, Manectric, you know, they resist Talonflame's main stab, they resist Scizor's main stab. And Breloom just comes in like nothing. Leech Seed, Spore the Switch in. It's just a really, I feel like it's really underestimated these days. It's a Pokemon that is really just a complete pest. I remember I fought one back in like 4th gen as Pokemon Battle Revolution. At the time, I didn't know anything about competitive battling. I was that guy with all the legendaries, all the box art legendaries, going into Wi-Fi battles, and this thing just comes in with its Spore. At the time, the Poison Heal set was like a substitute Focus Punch, and it just completely destroyed my life. And ever since then, I've been pretty partial to Poison Heal Breloom. Even after the whole Technician craze, yeah, I find like right now, is probably the best that Toxic or Breloom is gonna be for a while. Yeah, it's really if you give it the right teammates, it'll be a pretty good supporting Pokemon. And, you know, that's all I have to say about that. Also, Wallslander is T, you know, likes to come in and intimidate. Doesn't give a crap, just goes for Leech Seed. And in addition, like Latios, like the stuff that completely shits on Breloom, like Mega Venusaur, I have Latios for that. Scizor can set up on defensive ones without HP Fire. Talonflame can just set up on it. Talonflame also sets up on Clefable, that otherwise gives the team some problems. Especially because Scizor really can't switch into Flamethrower because I'm offensive. So yeah, that's pretty much the team. It's my latest OU team. I feel like it's one of the better ones, really. And you know, there you go. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, subscribe if you want to do it. I just do these for myself, but it's cool when people actually do watch.